Hello, welcome back to another video, and what you're seeing right now is an Ask Me Anything series based on our swimming group. Let's learn how to swim together. So if you're not part of our group, why aren't you joining us? Join us here. Links down below, and it's totally free. You can ask questions or post videos of your swimming and get free feedback and stuff. And if you're probably wondering why my voice sounds like this, I have a cold, so bear with me. But let's go through these questions that you guys have posted, okay? One by one. Here we go. First question: how to make a foggy goggle clear without having to buy a new one, or how to keep it clear for a long term. Okay, I get this question a lot. Here's my answer. Do you want to waste time, unnecessary time, cleaning a cheap pair of goggles, or would you rather invest in more expensive goggles that will not fog up? Oh, the ones that fog up are usually cheap ones, or the ones that are just not made for you, okay? I've had goggles that steam up too much, or fog up too much, or they get dull over time, and usually the culprit is they're cheap or they're just not made for my face. You can waste all your time licking them, putting shampoo on them, scrubbing them and all that, and that's just a waste of time, in my opinion. That's not what the goggles are supposed to be doing. The goggles are supposed to be working for you! So, my answer is chuck them and just get another pair. And you're gonna have to go through hundreds of pairs until you find the right pair that works for your eyes, okay? There's no magical solution. So if I recommend a brand to you, it may not work for your eye sockets. So you just gotta keep trying. Alright? And when you keep trying, you'll eventually find a pair that is perfect for your eyes. Okay? So keep at it. Next question: what's the difference between a whip kick and a frog kick? Whip kick is... I put this out in a video already. Right here. You can watch. But basically, a whip kick is more effective, and a frog kick is more ineffective. Now, don't get me wrong, I do frog kicks, but I only do frog kicks when I'm underwater. So if you see those people that are doing those underwater challenges where they take one breath and they start swimming from one end to the other, they're doing a frog kick, because a frog kick is a lot, it grabs more of the water. So you're pulling as hard as you can with your arms, and you want to pull as hard as you can with your legs. So to do that effect underwater, then a frog kick is better. However, if you're trying to do breaststroke, where you come up to the surface and you grab a gulp of air and you go back down consistently, then you want to minimize the amount of space you're grabbing with your you want to minimize the amount of water you're grabbing with your legs, right? Because you want to make it more efficient. That's why we do whip kick instead, okay? So it depends on the situation you're at. If you're trying to tread water, whip kick. If you're trying to swim with the breaststroke, whip kick. If you're trying to swim underwater, which is totally useless in my opinion, then you want to do frog kick. Pool in my society is uniformly 120 centimeters deep. I'm trying to swim at the bottom of the pool, but as soon as I get in, the water bounces back up. Even if I breath out completely, water pushes me on the surface in 4 to 5 places. How to be at the bottom for longer and move. Okay, that tells me two things. One, you have really good buoyancy, and two, you're not pulling hard enough. Okay, so when I said in the earlier question, right, you do a frog kick when you're swimming underwater, you gotta do a frog kick, and you gotta pull with your arms as hard as you can if you want to get to the bottom of the pool. If you're not pulling as hard enough, then the water will just push you back up to the surface, especially if you have really good buoyancy. I have really bad buoyancy because I have a ton of muscle, and muscle sinks. So it helps me to pull me down to the bottom of the water. So in your case, you're not pulling hard enough. How do I get comfortable breathing? I'll swim 25 yards and I feel completely out of breath. How do you get comfortable driving? Well, if you've been driving for like 10 years, that's like a stupid question. That's like, oh, duh, I just drive. But if you ask a newbie who's never driven a car and is about to get his license for the first time, the only answer to that is just repetition. You just gotta keep doing it until it's like when you're driving, it's like totally nothing. So for you, you're still new, I guess, when it comes to swimming, because you're trying to do 25 yards. So my only advice is to keep doing it. Repetition. Okay? Same with being in deep water. A lot of people say, how do I get comfortable in deep water? Repetition. It's just like when you drive a car. You just got to keep driving it. Keep practicing. And a lot of people say, oh, I'm so uncomfortable. Well, how many attempts have you made being in the deep water? How many attempts? Come on. I want you to really be honest with yourself. How many attempts have you made to swim 25 meters total in your total lifetime? And I can probably bet $1 million. It's probably less than 100. It's probably less than 100. I guarantee you. It will take you 10,000 attempts or more to finally it will click all of a sudden. Okay, everyone's different. It took me a long time. It took me many years to get comfortable swimming. So don't expect magic in like one session, which is a lot of people do expect. And thanks. Cute question. When we have young adults competitions in our pool, the young swimmers whip the water white for half hours in the warm-up pool before going into the competition pool. Then, after lining up for competition on the starting blocks, they splash from buckets standing beside the pool. But they already look wet from... What the? Splash bucket water onto themselves? Only splash water. What the hell? I don't know. You should ask them. Maybe it's their ritual. Maybe it just pumps them up, psychs them up. Just ask them, I would say. I've never seen this before. And usually competitive swimming groups, they all have their own rituals, so just ask them. And what's the best way to condition yourself for swimming outside of the water? The best answer, the smartest answer, is to just keep swimming. You know, how do you become a better swimmer? You just keep swimming. You just challenge yourself. Swim with one arm. Like, I'll give you an example. Swim with one arm only. A lot of people don't try this, but I have, and it's harder. You gotta challenge yourself in the water. If you're doing like the same front crawl, the same butterfly, the same front kicking, you're probably gonna get bored. So you have to challenge yourself. All right? And how can you challenge yourself? Try kicking with your arms raised above you. Have you ever seen like I saw this video, this female backstroke swimmer, this routine they do is like they stick their arms out into the air in front of them and they try to kick on their back. It's hella hard to do, but it's a great way to condition yourself to make yourself stronger in your kicks. Try to do a one-arm butterfly. Hell, it's hard, especially when you're holding a GoPro. So there are ways to challenge yourself. Next question, what's the best time to go to the pool? In the morning. Before anyone else uses the pool, go in the morning. Why? Because that's when the water is the cleanest. All that filtration of all that dandruff, piss, snot, pubic hair, moisturizer, tanning cream, toe jam, butt crust, all of that crap is filtered through the pool filtration system. And in the morning, you're swimming in pure clean water. That's why serious swimmers swim in the morning. Serious swimmers don't swim in the afternoon because they know they're competing with tourists. And what do tourists do? They just play in the pool. They don't take showers before entering the water. I've seen so many people, stupid adults, with their kids, they enter the water, the public pool water, without taking a shower. And it pisses me off a lot. Because every pool has a sign and every pool has a rule that says you must shower thoroughly before entering the pool, because all of that crap goes to the surface of the water. And serious swimmers or anyone who swims has the potential to suck that crap into their mouths as they're inhaling or exhaling. So please, guys, please educate the people around you. Take a thorough shower before entering the pool. Next question. Any good exercise to get my kick going and become natural to me as a beginner? Your kick? All of us do the same routine. We grab a kickboard, hold it out in front of us, and then we just start kicking and just try to do one lap. Okay, that's your first goal. Just try to do one lap. And then after that, try to do 2 consistent laps with just front kicking. No arms involved, just your head sticking out, and try to kick. You notice that when your head is out of the water, as you perform this, it's a lot harder because the angle of your body is deeper into the water. So your legs have to compensate. Your lower back has to compensate by kicking harder to keep it up on the surface. Whereas if your head is down in the water and you're holding the kickboard out in front, it's a lot easier to perform. So if you're a beginner, start with holding the kickboard out in front with your head down and blowing bubbles, and come up for air as often as you can while you're front kicking. And then progress into your head totally out of the water all the time and kicking on your front. That's a lot harder. Why are elite swimmers always so interesting in leaning on or sliding over the lane dividers after? I mean, I tried looking cool. Give it the leaning on or sliding over the lane dividers after I tried. Okay, I'll give you my answer to this. As a lifeguard, you're not supposed to be leaning on or sliding on or sitting on those lane dividers. Why? Because the people who do that over time, that lane divider, that rope tension becomes weaker and weaker, and that damages the rope. Okay, so that's not allowed actually to do anything. You're not supposed to touch those lane dividers whatsoever, let alone sit on them or lean on them or whatever. Only in emergency, if you're really injured or something, do you grab onto those lane ropes. That's not really important. Looking cool in the water is not really important. It's like those fuckboys in your gym that try to look cool in your local gym, taking pictures of themselves with their smartphones. And I say to myself, why are you here in this gym? You're not even here to work out. You're here to try to look cool. Get out. That's what I would say to them. Next question. How to get rid of flicker in the water? Flicker? I don't understand what you mean, flicker in the water. Next question. How to float on the back? Whenever I'm trying to float on the back of my body, stop worrying about floating, guys. Floating is not really necessary. Why? Because we all have different buoyancy. Okay? I sink like a rock. You may float like an inner tube. Everyone's different, so it's not really fair to compare each other. However, if you want to float on your back, wear a life jacket. And then get used to that sensation. Lean back, and the life jacket does all the work. All you have to do is just relax your legs and arms when you're wearing a life jacket. Then, after that, try holding a kickboard onto your chest and do the same motion without a life jacket. Again, you gotta relax your arms, you gotta relax your legs. That's it. But let me ask you, what is the goal of you floating on your back? What are you trying to prove? That you can float? That you can swim? Because in the long run, the grand scheme of things, floating doesn't mean shit when it comes to swimming. What really matters is glides, doing strokes, treading water, being comfortable in the water, and just not being a dick when it comes to working out in the pool. A lot of people don't get it. A lot of people do not get it. And it's summertime, and I feel for you guys. Why? Because summertime is when all these tourists come into the water and they treat the pool like an ocean or like a vacation. Don't get me wrong. I love playing in the water. Water is a great place to spend time with your family, your friends, hang out on a hot summer day. I get it. But I've seen the good and the bad. As a lifeguard for many years, as a swim coach for many years, I've seen a lot of people just abuse the pool. Okay? You will not believe how many people have pooped in the water. You will not believe. And these are grown-ass adults that have done it, or puked in the water, or pissed in the water, or done foul things in the water. You will not believe the extent of how bad people abuse the pool. And it's just like those people you see at the gym that don't contribute, that make a mess, that really abuse the facility and don't give respect that's deserved. Those are the people you gotta look out for. And I really want to bring this home to you guys. Respect the pool, respect the gym, respect the office, respect the home, Respect the kitchen, respect wherever you are and you're putting in the time and putting in the work. Okay? Because a lot of us are not here to just goof around and just try to look cool. Some of us are actually trying to accomplish something, like trying to survive in the water, trying to get over our fear in the water, trying to swim in the water for the first time, trying to learn how to save someone in the future, potentially, in the water. A lot of us are trying that. And this is why I think you should join our group. Let's learn how to swim together. Because if you have questions, here's the place to ask them. And here's the place where you can get answers, okay? Join this group, links down below. And if you really want to learn how to swim, join this online course here, 7-Day Swim, that I've created. It's the smartest course you will ever invest in. It's so damn cheap. I give you the path on how to learn how to swim as a complete newbie, as a complete beginner. And this course may potentially save your life or someone else that you care deeply. So, click on this button. The link's down below. That's all I have to say for now. It's summertime, guys. Have fun swimming, but also be smart at the same time. And I wish you all the best. Subscribe to this YouTube channel. Hit that like button. And I'll talk to you later. Bye. Yeah.